Just getting comfortable in my cafe. Thanks for joining me. And my other shirt is made of mithril. Gives me a thrill. Okay, we're talking about Elaine, Marolakos, Edelson. We are talking about Jupiter entering the sign of Cancer on June 9th. So if you're watching this live, we haven't gotten there yet, but we're pretty much there. And it'll stay there through June 29th of 2026. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, the planets don't do anything to us. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos so that when we make a move, it is reflected by aspects and angles in a chart. Isn't that cool? And also, hang on, I'm going to load this so you can see what it looks like. Share my screen. Thank you very much. Here we go. All right. And I'll flop it. There it is. So what are we looking at here? Well, right now and through July 10th, Jupiter will be squaring Saturn. We'll talk about that too. But first, Jupiter is the planet that represents expansion. Positive or negative, that's up to you. It's also about benevolence, generosity, spiritual attainment, philosophy, religion, studying these things, traveling to different cultures, the journey. Jupiter also represents publishing. It is guided by, it guides Sagittarius. And that in general astrology terms is all about the 9th house in astrology. And the 9th house are these topics: higher education, higher learning, consciousness, expansion, traveling, expanding the mind, even if you're just sitting in a chair. And doing that in Gemini, as it's been for the past 12 months, Jupiter lasts about or traverses a constellation. Takes about 12 months to do that. So figure Jupiter's in your sign for about a year, or a rising sign or a moon sign. So I'm going to cover what Jupiter represents in Cancer for each of the signs. Give me a moment. But first, I really want to talk about how this expansion collectively, first of all, in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer represents, hang on a minute. I'm going to just forward this till we get to June 9th. And I don't want to overshoot it. 7, 8, and 9. Let's go a little more. There we go. Okay. So, sorry, 29 degrees later on in the day. There it is. So I'm going to change this image so that you get a better look at that. That didn't really help, did it? Technology is making me kooky. That's my new theme song. Okay. Here, I'm just going to do this. So, ta-da. Now you can see it better. Hooray. Okay. So with Jupiter by the end of June 9th, and here's June 10th, it is squaring Saturn. But Jupiter alone represents expansion, philosophy, religion, education, travel, publishing. Cancer represents home, hearth, family. It's a cardinal sign, which means it is ambitious and it moves like stealth to get what it wants, but it's also emotional. So it can be moody, and what it manifests depends on the mood. And sometimes thinking that a Cancer energy might think, I've got to do it all myself. Cardinal energy is like that. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. cardinal energies. Think it's on me, my responsibility, got to do it, got to make them happy. So Cancer is touted as this like sweet and kind and loving and sit down, I'll make you a sandwich, I'll dry your tears, I'll give you a hug. And sometimes, yes, most times it's looking to help you solve your problem and also possibly create financial security. So depending on the placement in your chart and all that stuff, what it's connected to, other angles and aspects in astrology. But on the whole, Cancer is that let me feel it so then I can put it into motion and get to the solution before there's any more moods, melodrama, cockadoodles, right? That's that's what Cancer is. And it wants to do that sometimes silently. So now we take this magnanimous energy that is part of us, that Jupiter represents, part of us, the big feeling state, and we put it into Cancer and we go, oh, yeah, it really does feel big. I need it to feel happier. I needed to feel more serving of family, community, but not at the sake of myself. And I need it to help me. With Jupiter and Cancer, it's like saying the part of you that is ready to just back up and nurture yourself first before pushing through to solve that problem for other people, because ultimately Cancer doesn't want to hear anybody whine or complain. So sometimes they bypass the because they are so sensitive. Sometimes the Cancer energy bypasses the I'll hold your hand and cry with you into it translates that into all right, okay, I get it. You're going through a rough time. How can we fix the problem? Let's solve the problem. And so expanding on problem solving is going to be great, but also expanding on how you feel that created the problem. And here's the thing, everything is energy. And every time you focus on something, no matter when it happened, in the past, 2 days ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you keep talking about it, if you keep emitting a frequency that equals that trauma, you will recreate it. Expansion times 10 in Jupiter. So instead, we want to say to ourselves, oh, wow, that's happening. It doesn't feel good, but okay, I just need a moment. Just to put the what's happening on pause, not to ignore it. We're not saying it doesn't exist. We're saying, oh, wow, this just happened. What can I do with this energy now? I need a break. I need a moment. I need to think about it. Because in Cancer, the problem solving is activated. So instead of going on and on and on about what's not working, and I tried this and it didn't work and it didn't work, and I tried that and they screwed me and they betrayed me and okay, stop. This is happening. So let's just encapsulate it so we don't go overboard emotionally and expand so big that, we don't want to go there because your energy is creating the next moment. What would you like your energy to do? How about solve the problem in a nurturing way? You must give yourself time to take a break. And what I recommend, I used to say just for Gemini, but I say for everybody now, you're doing anything and you can feel the tension building that, it's like, I got to get it done. There's a deadline, even if there isn't, I have to finish it. I'm going to plow through. I'm going to push through. That energy creates opposition and tension. And this square exemplifies it. A square is a 90-degree angle that says, ouch, something's hurting, but I got to get this thing done. I'm bending over, my back hurts, but I got to tie my shoes. Well, okay. Really? Can you sit up, take a breath, put on slippers or sandals or boots or something you don't have to tie? It's like this determination is going to be a downfall if you're not allowing yourself breathing space. Do you hear what I'm saying? So what are the steps? Acknowledge what's happening. We must validate what's happening. Oh yeah, this is happening. You don't have to talk about it for days or go into therapy about it for 6 months because then you're just going to make it bigger. But get clear on what's happening. Oh, this is happening. I'm not sure why. Some part of me is allowing it, perpetuating it. And I know that sounds harsh, especially to people who suffer, horrible betrayals or physical abuse and already are blaming themselves. But the victim's voice gets activated when planets, no, that makes it sound like the planet's doing it. The victim's voice is heard louder when you're ready to heal something. By extension, in astrology, it looks like a planet moving into a new constellation. Is it doing it to you? No, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. You are a pure conscious love. You're a sentient, eternal, celestial being. Praise and glory. Okay, let's just everybody calm for a second. What's bothering you? That's what's going to come up with Saturn and Aries squaring, all right, cardinal to cardinal. And if we had right here, we would have Libra, a Capricorn, and then we'd have Libra. We have a big square. It's like push through the problem. No, understand that the problem is either perpetuated by you or started by you. So how do we solve that? First, we have to get into you. It's like, I just need a moment. Jupiter in Cancer. I need to put my feet up because I have plantar fasciitis and it really hurts. So then take care of yourself. No. I got to get, really? You got to what? Hurt more to prove that you can get it done? No, you don't. That's the point. I'm a Capricorn rising. I totally understand this. And that means during Jupiter in Cancer, now it's only going to be squaring Saturn through July 10th. So take that as like, I was going to say omen, but no. Take that as information that your need to push Aries, plow through, Saturn, Capricorn, plow through, cardinal energy, Cancer, plow through. Your need to get the job done and be the one who does it is coming up for review. Oh, let's pretend. I've got a folder here and let's see. Let's review. Let's review how hard you work and how much you push yourself and how much you think you have to solve your own and everyone else's problems. Tired yet? Of course you are. But you have hope, you have trust, you have belief. Now we need to put it into action. Sometimes by doing nothing. That's the oxymoron. Activate nothing. Avengers, assemble. We have to activate nothing. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, let's go through each of the signs and to not be distracted. Well, actually, no, I'll leave that. And we're going to start with Cancer. Okay. So also when this is over, and if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a few minutes to actually do the timestamps so that you can go right to your sun, rising, and moon sign. Okay. Thank you. Now, okay, here we go. So Jupiter in Cancer for Cancer, sun, rising, and moon. This is all about everything I just talked about. And that is for you to have an excitement, a feeling of excitement about your expansion, what you want to be doing, how you want to do it, but not because this falls in the first house for Cancer in the general charts. Now, in your chart, it may be in the third house or the eighth house. So just listen for your house and or listen for your sign. So Jupiter in Cancer, this is a time where you can expand exponentially. What do you want to expand on? That's the only question to ask yourself. That's the only question. Cancer, sun, rising, and moon. What do I choose to expand on? My waist? I'll just keep eating cake. What do I choose to expand on? My relationship to my family. Oh, okay. Yeah. How can I go about that? Let me think about it. Let me feel it through. Let me have a conversation. What do I choose to expand on? Because whatever Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon you choose to expand on is expanding. That's the part of you that's saying, I'm ready to go big and go wide. And if you don't want to be in a place of victimization, it wouldn't be, oh, I can't believe that happened again. Well, it's happening again because you're focused on it on some level. No blame, no judgment. Just let's be aware. Let's evaluate instead of judge. So, with Jupiter and Cancer for the next year, this is a time, Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon, for you to say, this is my dream. And this is how it feels to think and feel my dream. I'm going to go there in as many moments as possible throughout the day. Even if something's happening that I don't want to have happen, okay, let me just call it, this is happening. Okay, this is happening. That's for every sign. This is happening. But what's my dream? And then slowly create a bridge, incrementally create a bridge to feeling expansive, to feeling like, oh, I'm writing a book. I'm going to publish a book. I am, going to express myself more readily without always thinking of them first. Of course, I'm always going to naturally think of them, but I'm going to think of me first too. And that feels okay. It feels kind of icky at first, feels kind of weird, but it's okay. I can do this. So we're going to take tiny little steps, Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon. If you're doing way too much, Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon, your body's going to feel it. This actually applies to everybody. Right now, you're physically going to feel it the most this year. So talk to your body. My sister is a Cancer, and she has plantar fasciitis. She's also a Libra rising. And I said to her, sit down. She goes, well, I got so much to do. And I'm like, sit down. So I gave her a plantar fasciitis sock. She puts it on her foot and says it helps. I go, yeah, but that doesn't mean stand up 10 times more. Just means sit down, please. But, it's up to you. Okay. Leo, second house in the general charts. And this is all about you feeling worth it. So where can you expand? Whether it's, and Cancer represents children as well, motherhood, nurturing, writing, finances, and home security. It's like, I want to feel safe at home. I'm going to put a lock on my door. I've kept it open and I feel safe, but something tells me just to protect the family. So it can be defensive. So Leo, Sun, Rising, and Moon, if you're feeling defensive over the fact that you don't think enough about yourself or with the money that you're making and you don't like the money that you're making, or you're not making enough money, or you're not making any money because you have to take care of all the kids and you're starting to resent it, there needs to be a solution instead of the circle. It's like, and then we come back to the beginning and this is the problem and this is the problem. No, now we focus on the solution by asking yourself, what else can I be thinking and how does it feel to think that? If it feels satisfying, that's a direct quote from Esther Hicks and the Collective Abraham. If it feels satisfying, you will make more moments of satisfactory energy. And then that brings to you more satisfaction. You understand how it works? Leo, Sun, Rising, and Moon. What I want you to think about is not your dollar amount worth, although if you're going to ask for a raise, yes, go ahead. But also think about, what is your time worth? What are your resources worth? Is it worth your sanity? You have many resources and not just cash. It's energy, time, sanity. What's it worth to you? Is it worth it to you? Now, sometimes to overcome an obstacle, we do need to get started and it feels like work. But when it comes to self-worth, without ego or arrogance, put yourself first. Now, if you're caring for a small child, of course, they come first. They just do. And if you have resentment over that, that's what needs to get worked out. Not focus on the resentment, but focused on the, okay, I'm trying to get 3 things done and the baby's crying and I can't. So then stop trying to get stuff done. Sit down with the baby, sing a song, do something that satisfies you and in turn will satisfy those around you. It's not people pleasing. It's finding that calibration, that moment right there that you can say, oh, this feels good. I'm going to do this for 5 minutes. Because, excuse me, 16 to 20 seconds of a focus repeated creates matter. So what matters to you? Now I want you, Leo, sun, rising, and moon, I want you to say this to yourself. I matter because my matter is divine. I matter because my matter is divine. Okay, is that task right now worth my sanity? No, I could do it later. I'm done. It's not done. Is that conversation about my promotion worth it? Yeah. Is it uncomfortable? Yeah. But it's worth it. I'm going to give it a go. And if they say no, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Maybe I look elsewhere. Maybe I think about putting a dollar amount not on my worth, but on my actions. The project that I have, the work that I'm doing for a company. If it's productive and it makes them money, then everybody needs to be happy. So without arrogance or demanding, Leo, sun, rising, and moon, this is also about knowing that if you're tired, take a break. If you're feeling suddenly inspired, go do that thing for a few minutes. It's like, oh, that has to get done, but that's what I love. Rock in a hard place. And Jupiter in Cancer, emotional, rock in a hard place. So we can expand on, and I'm a Leo moon, so I'm right there with you, Leo, sun, rising, and moon. So if we suddenly go, oh, I have to do the accounts for the bookkeeper, and you don't want to, put it aside for 10 minutes and do something that makes you feel happy. The whole point, everyone, is to focus on the joy and the gratitude, which is a vibration that raises the level and brings to you the things you want without having to go in a straight line. All right, Leo, sun, rising, and moon, just take that and work with it. Virgo, third house in the general charts. Jupiter in Cancer for you, excuse me, is actually going to help you change your mind. And those ideas that keep you in a place of feeling criticized or criticizing, feeling judged or judging. And I'm not talking about evaluation, although I want you to know the difference between judgment and evaluation. Judgment is someone, self or other, is trying to make someone, self or other, feel superior. Evaluation is, let me just take a look at that. Oh, yeah, they have a point. I was coming in late 3 days in a row. I don't need to get defensive about it. Why am I coming in late? I don't think I want to work here anymore. Let's be honest, Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. And also, this is a time of expanding. So read, write, watch movies, listen to podcasts that really speak to your soul, Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. And ask yourself, does this help me feel empowered? Because if it does it help me feel like I can make a difference? I can nurture self and others without being at the sake of myself. If it does that, you're right on target, Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. Third house is not about communication first. It's about perception. You need to gain perspective. Everyone will have their own perception about their life and walk into a room feeling guilty and then look for the people who are looking to blame. And then that energy matches up. You see how that works? You walk into a room feeling enthusiastic and suddenly you attract someone who's like, bah, 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 bah. You're like, why did that just happen to me? Oh, it's not about me. And then just stay centered in who you are, Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. And then that overflow. If someone is going to vibe with you, they're going to vibe with you. If not, they're not. We don't take it as condemnation that you've done something wrong. Now, if you have overstepped a boundary, if you did get persnickety with somebody, you can own up to it. Jupiter in Cancer, listen, I know I spoke out of turn or I got really upset. I had a crap morning and I dumped on you and I'm so sorry. Or thinking about the times that you are sorrowful and the grief, you won't allow the grief, or the grief overtakes you for whatever reason. And that can mean, who am I now? that I don't have this person in my life. Who am I now that I'm not thinking this thought? Third house is all about your perception. So you might go, oh, yeah, that's never going to work. I don't have the credentials. No, that's not going to work. It's not, that they, come on, those people, they have their own agenda, and I'm always at the bottom of the list. If you have negative thoughts, Virgo, sun, rising, and moon, what you're going to attract are negativity it's like in perpetuity. It's like your thoughts are going to create a perception that keeps you in a loop, that keeps you stuck. Let's take a breath, Virgo. Listen to something, watch something, write something, read something that makes you feel, I'm so happy to be alive. Libra, sun, rising, and moon. Okay, wow, fourth house. This is, and again, this is in the general charts. I have to take a sip. I talked so much too fast. In the general charts, Jupiter in Cancer is traversing your fourth house, which means home, family, four walls. Now, that's a natural placement for Cancer. So you're thinking, who do I want to be at home? How do I want to be? Do I want to live here? Do we need to fix up the place? Do we need to move? Do we need to set up shop at home? Do I need to feel at home wherever I go? What's going on with family? Somebody's pulling at me here. Somebody's tugging at me there. I need to set the boundaries. How do I do that without sounding like overblown or holding it in, holding it in, holding it in, and then just like dumping? Because the extremes can be big with Jupiter in Cancer in the home. Now, if you have, let's say, you're a tenant, you have an apartment or a condo, and you have a lease, and it's coming up for renewal, but things need to get fixed. You need to talk to the owner, the landlord, and say, you know what? These things have been going on and they have not been fixed. So before I sign again, let's negotiate. Remember, Jupiter puts a spin on things that's positive, not like, oh no, if I say this, I'll get kicked out, or they don't fix anything. They're crap landlords. If you put that expansive spin on things, what's going to happen? What are you going to attract? You're going to be right every time. You just, right? Okay. So Libra, sun, rising, and moon. If you are waiting for the ideal situation to occur before you move your energy, just know that you're the ideal situation. You're the universe. And I have hair in my eye. Sorry. You're the universe. How do you want the next moment to go? You need to imagine it and know that it's true. Not put a smile on your face and inside you're cussing people out. No. You can't have that. Head and heart coherence need to be the same, right? So think about how to fix up the place. What can I do to talk about who I am in that space? Like, hey guys, family meeting. Okay, it's all been crazy. There's been so much going on for everybody all the time. But I'm just wondering if we can have like a different routine. Maybe somebody's task is to take the garbage out or to help me out and not wait for me to ask. That would be so amazing that we could work together as a family. So talking about it, Jupiter in the third house is about communication. I'm sorry, in the fourth house is about communication of the whole. So because we want to expand on happiness in the family, at home, with inside the four walls, inside your own identity, Libra, sun, rising, and moon. Especially if you have a hard time saying no. And then, things run amok and people are stepping all over you. You're not a doormat. So instead, what you can do is look at my home as my sanctuary. And in my home, these three things are not allowed. And you're saying this to yourself. If I get angry and I need to express it, that's healthy anger is allowed. Screaming obscenities, it's not allowed. No judgment. Just you're evaluating what's allowed, what's not allowed. Let's see. Listening to others, not demanding. I know a lot of Libra sun rising and moons, and in their home, their closets are like military. I mean, everything's in a row, color coded, and so now we're starting to think about how can I expand on that? I know a Libra rising who's saying, you know what? I talked to someone to help me build another room so I can put all of my work stuff in that room so that it's not all over my bedroom and the living room. It's making me crazy. So, how can we expand? Are you going to add on to the space? Are you going to add on an addendum to who you are in that space and say to the family, look, I know sometimes I'm a hard ass. I know it's rough. I don't mean to just sound like a dictator, but um, this is what needs to happen for all of us to be happier. Who's with me? I want to hear from the family. Who's with me? And if you live alone and you've got neighbors who are banging on the walls and there's music and it's loud, a nice conversation would help. And if not, it's time to go. So think about options. Oh, let me just check in before I move on to the next sign. Hey, Shelby, your plants? I don't get it. I must have said something that made you laugh, or you plantar fasciitis, not your plants. Plantar fasciitis started acting up this week after 17 years. Okay, your body's talking to you. Are you listening? And Libra rising. And feet things in general have to do with moving forward or doing too much and taking it on, and the feet feel the pressure. At the end of the day, if you massage your feet, this is for everybody. If you massage your feet, you're helping the world to leave your body. You're just like saying, I love you. You bear the brunt of everything I feel and that I stand for and that I don't stand for. Sasha, hi. Happy to catch up with you today. My baby boy is sick with a cold. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Give him lots of hugs and love, and don't push the river, right? You know that. Oh, you have a Virgo and Virgo Venus. Okay, so also searching for where my work is most appreciated. Search inside. You are what version of Libra are you again? I forget. I know you have Libra in you. And so that means and I'm going to come back to this cuz this is about Libra sun rising and moon. Jupiter in Cancer transiting while it's squaring Saturn through July 10th, but Jupiter is in Cancer through June 29th, 2026. So we kick it off for the next 6 weeks, depends on when you're watching this, with ouch, doesn't feel good. I feel pressure, but you're the one who's creating the pressure. Libra sun rising and moon. So you're expanding. Think about expansion. Think about, oh, there's a perfect place for me. It's going to come to me at the most ideal time because I trust my needs are met. I trust my needs are met. And I'll do my part and look at things. But if I'm looking at getting a new apartment, getting a new job, altering my relationship, if you're looking at or my health, my relationship to my health, if you're looking at anything right now, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, and you have this fury behind it, like, I got to get it done. No, what's going to happen? What comes at you is going to have that energy. No bueno. My needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met. And just imagine, oh, that new place, that new job, they love me. I love living there. I love working there. My family's getting along. Start pre-framing yourself for the future. Okay. Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, 5th house. Okay. For anybody, that's like the most fun to have Jupiter in Cancer. If you don't want to have a baby, use protection, buckle up for safety. And I mean that in triplicate. Jupiter transiting the 5th house can mean grandchildren, children, new love, reviving an old love, better connection, more robust, profound, fulfilling connection with children, lover, family, projects, creativity. You're really going to say, oh my gosh, I've wanted to play the piano all my life and now's the time. Or I have a new grandson. I'm so excited. That changes things now, doesn't it? I might need to move. I might need to change my job. I might need to consider retirement. I might need to consider, who am I? Because psychologically, when you're single and then go from single to coupled, it changes, right? And then psychologically, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, when it goes from couple to then child, oh, then that changes. And then from child to grandchild, oh, or in-laws, so it's like this whole expansion, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, of who you are is about allowing people to see you and to play down the stuff that is playful in an adult way. So if you're having too much unprotected, you know what? If you are drinking too much, you're smoking too much, because you're so happy and you just like want to party. Okay, that's fun until it isn't. And then other people are like, Dad, we never see you anymore. Or Mom, every time somebody comes over, all you do is like eat all the cake. And then you don't feel good for 6 weeks. So we want to remember Jupiter, overindulgence. What are we expanding on? Intimacy? Yes. Into me, you see. Yes. What are we expanding on? Creative urges, to healthy creative urges, to feel inspired by divinity. You want to paint, you want to write, you want to sew, you want to crochet, you want to build something. Go do it. That's exciting. You want to write a book? Jupiter, publishing, Cancer, writing, memoir. Take notes, write poetry, go to a writing workshop, watch one online. There's one right now I'm involved with, Hay House. Louise Hay, the company, has a publishing thing they're doing. So I'm just like, I listen and I go, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Oh yeah, I could try that. So anything to inspire your motivation, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, is going to be really good. I think it's important too that everyone understand, especially Scorpio, sun, rising, moon, that when it comes to creation, a man, physically speaking, biologically speaking, a man creates with his mind, his heart, and his testicles. A woman creates with the mind, the heart, and the ovaries. Even if you're non-binary, even if you're trans, you are creating with your mind and heart first, and then physically, if you want to have children, or emotionally, Cancer energy, if you want to put your heart and soul into that project. And it can be anything. It can be, I wanna go online and create a new business, coloring books. I've seen so many people do that, and they make hand over fist on Amazon doing that, or as a secondary income. So what do you want to create? What's your project? And is it healthy? Because you only ever want to ask yourself, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, am I expanding on something that's unhealthy, like complaining about the kids or the nanny or the teachers or the school system or the publishing house who I gave them my stuff and that somebody stole my idea? It's like, if you are going down that rabbit hole of, I'm not getting what I need, Scorpio energy is fixed sign, like Leo, Taurus. If you're going down the negative road, it's because you want to hide in a place of scrutiny and you want to get there first. If you're open to healing and saying, I really want to work on this relationship, I really want to expand through reading, writing, that's publishing, singing, dancing, moving my body, really feeling safe, healing something that I can then turn around and I can make it a creative project. I know someone who was on the board of choosing the sculpture for the site of 9/11. And I said, wow, wow, how do you get to be that person? And it's because of previous times that they had been part of different boards in education, in the arts. They were very connected in that way. So someone adopted their idea. Oh, isn't that cool? So Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, think about how you want to create right now. And you must have that sense of play and trust, trust, trust. I mean, can that come at you any bigger? Trust, trust, trust. Trust that your needs are met. Trust that you're expressing a part of yourself that is sacred, and it's whether it's sexually, whether it's creatively, whether it's playtime, adult playtime, or if you're a nanny or a teacher and you're thinking, I want to I want to create something different for the kids. It's like they're taught the ABCs and color and therapy and whatever. Let's do like that's in art. You have to know color therapy. Like red and blue make purple. What's color composition? But you want to create something. So just be free and easy and expand and be open to hearing what other people are doing so that oh yeah, that's possible. I can do that. Um, because the only other time that you're kind of stuck in I would say, a place of stagnation creatively or a routine or hiding. Like you're thinking, I'm not happy in my marriage or my relationship. And then your eyes start to wander. Oh, they're good looking. I mean, you do what you want. It's not a judgment, but I'm saying that you're only going to transfer issue to issue without solving the problem. Does that make sense? So now we are in creative problem solving mode. All right, we're moving on. Sagittarius, sun, rising, and moon. Sixth house. First and foremost, Jupiter transiting through the sixth house might feel like, how did I gain 3 pounds? I didn't even eat anything. So the pressure that you feel emotionally to nurture, to nourish, to help other people, Sag, sun, rising, and moon. What is it that is not working for you? What is it that's not working? Because as soon as we know what's not working, we know what is working. Or as soon as we know what we don't want, Sag, sun, rising, and moon, we know what we do want. So if you are working in the health or medical industry, there are some big decisions for you to make now and coming up or recently, because you're wondering, I was working in the ER. They had all these, stipulations, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I was on my feet. I have all these varicose veins that hurt like heck. I need a sit down job. So maybe apply for a transfer, or maybe look for something else in the department that you have talent in and you can help. What if you're a writer or you're a teacher or you help people in, let's say, Jupiter and Cancer? You're an editor. You're someone who is in health or healing. You're a Reiki expert. You practice tarot. What else? Sag, sun, rising, and moon. You're a physical therapist. You're a dentist. You're a personal trainer. Anything that deals with the health and well-being of you and your clients or patients. Now is the time to see what do they really need. And I would do a survey. I would ask other people, what problem are you looking to solve? Because when you get community feedback, because sixth house deals with community and the kind of clients that you will attract, sixth and seventh house, and you can say, what's the problem you're looking to solve right now? And then take a survey. Survey Monkey can do that automatically. You can automate it, send it out to your email list and say, what problem are you looking to solve right now? And, given the fact that they know your profession, let's say you're a tarot reader or you do numerology or you're an astrologer or you're a fitness trainer, you're saying, what problem are you looking to solve right now? Oh, my hips, I get so stiff and sore. Oh, that gives you an idea to create a program. If you get enough feedback, the higher the percentage of the feedback that says the same thing, that's when you can create your next product or service. Does that vibe with you? Because it is about changing it up. And if the rules of engagement in the medical world are saying, Yeah, we don't cover that in insurance anymore. Then lower your fees if you can do that to accommodate the people who can't afford it without insurance, because it's only moving in that direction. What's allowed, I think it's Oklahoma now, allows food as medicine therapy. Food as medicine. And it's you can apply to your insurance company if you live in Oklahoma. So the tides are changing toward health and well-being. But first and foremost, you have to know what sparks your interest, Sagittarius, sun, rising, and moon. Where do you want to take your energy? Where do you want to take your talents and your know-how? You need a community to do that. And let's say you're a travel agent. Do they still have those? Of course they do. And you love to travel. Maybe it's time you get a group together and you visit the sacred sites of, wherever. And then incorporate, oh, yes, I'll teach you tarot. I'll teach you, intuition and training. And, we're going to go visit these 3 places and who's with me. And then, you work with a travel agent, you get a really good deal, that kind of thing. And if you want to go smaller scale and it's just, I want to raise my rates. I want to serve the community, but I want to raise my rates because I'm tired of feeling like I'm poor. Well, then raise your rates, but let people know that it's coming. In 30 days, folks, I will be, raising my rates to this. Don't just jump on people and say, no, well, it's, this is what it is now. It's like, give people warning, let them know. And if you don't have a business and you're just looking at, I really love pets. I love working with the Humane Society. I love giving my time. Then how can you volunteer to do more, but never, ever anyone at the sake of yourself, unless the building's on fire and, you want to go in and save somebody. Sagittarius, sun, rising, moon. This is a time for you to really know your worth, to apply your talents to a task, a project, health and well-being, also the health and well-being of pets, or community service. If you say, okay, we need to have a fun fest here in town, let me just talk to a couple of companies and everybody can give a sample of what they do. And then they can, of course, charge after the sample. But if everybody gives a taste of something, you are creating revenue for yourself and others, for the town, community, right? So, and then people get a chance to, oh, for $5, you can try this chair massage. Oh, that feels really great. What are your rates? $45 for the next 20 minutes. Okay, let me take out my credit card. So you see what I'm saying? It's like there are ways to think around how to serve the community, how to help others, how to make money, how to do what you love doing, and put that all together in a project. Okay, Capricorn, sun, rising, and moon. Let me just take a sip. Thanks for being here, folks. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Capricorn, 7th house. In the general charts, when Jupiter transits in Cancer through your 7th house, we're looking at a second honeymoon, or maybe a first honeymoon, or maybe I have a new fan club. I have a new fan base. I have a new audience. I have a new contract with someone that puts me in front of people I've not been in front of before. At the least, it means let's expand on your definition of marital relationships, whether you're married, divorced, single, engaged, widowed. Let's put some new positive energy on it. Like, honey, we've been together for 30 years. Let's do something different today. Take that person by the hand and say, let's do one, like what we implemented in our house. I'm a Capricorn rising. My husband's a Cancer sun sign. What we implemented years ago was let's do one new thing a day. And it keeps the energy alive. It keeps conversation alive. It's like, what did that new food taste like? Wow, that was amazing. Or did you, read that book? I just read a passage. Let's talk about it. So expansion through business partnerships. You may be looking for a new business partnership. You may be looking for someone that you can sell your wares to or your services and you're not sure. So you take on, we have a new marketing team for my Astrology Pro certified coaching program. And they're working on it right now and doing their thing and have presented to us ideas we've not thought of before. And we thought of everything. And we're like, oh, that's a way to go. Let's try that. Let's see if it works, and because Jupiter expanding through partnerships means you come to the table with an open heart, open mind, and you're listening as much as you're excited to share something. Now, if you're a solo person, a solopreneur, you're not married, you're not looking to get married, where can you contribute to clients, clientele, customers, to groups and communities that you want to foster something, you want to nurture something, you want to help them expand on something. And doing that in business or even on a personal level, because seventh house in astrology in the general charts traditionally represents marriage. And if you've got Jupiter transiting that seventh house and you're already married, you're single and don't want to be married, what does that look like? Well, do you have a business? No, I don't have a business. Okay, so where would you like to expand in life? Do you want to travel with a group? Do you want to lead a group? Do you want to join a book club? Do you want to be part of something that helps you feel like you are growing, changing, and upping your vibe? If you're part of any group, like sixth house is community, but seventh house is applying partnership to the community. So when I work with my clients and Jupiter's transiting, because I'm a Capricorn rising, it's transiting my seventh house. I'm about to attract new clientele. Or I'm also a writer. I'm about to join. I just saw it just popped up in my feed today that the local library now has a writing salon once a month. You go, you bring some work, you get feedback from other writers. Okay, I'll go. I'm in. So things are going to start to come your way. But first, you need to, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, focus on where you'd like to expand. Have that as like the tab on your folder. I'm expanding through partners toward what's the solution? What's the end result? I want to meet other writers. I want to meet a group of married women and we have like a stitch and bitch session. Somebody told me they were part of that once. I was like, what's that? They get together, they sew, they crochet, they knit, and then they just talk. And I was like, okay, that's hysterical. I love that. So Capricorn energy with the Cancer energy, it feels like you can be softer now. You don't have to push, talk too much, say, like give all the solutions in a row. It's like, oh, listen more. Come to the table with an open heart, open mind, and you're listening more. Because you're about to be elevated to the next level of partnership. So what does that mean or look like? It depends on what you're doing in your life. And someone might come to you and say, I just started a travel club. Really? What is that? Well, 3 times a year, we're going to save up our money and travel to places that, whatever the topic is. Oh, wow. Well, people who love antiques. Whatever. So, be open, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, be open to allowing these new partnerships to just kind of hover so you can get to know the people before you commit, of course. You have to feel it. It's in Cancer. Expansion through the topic is like, yeah, I'm in. But before you jump in, make sure you are feeling and you're vibing it with the people. If you join a group and all they do is complain and bitch and moan, and you don't want to be part of that, don't be part of that. then you go, oh, thank you so much. The cheese was delicious. Yeah. And then you go. I mean, I've joined meditation groups in town and I've given it my all. And I'm like, I don't really vibe with these people. And it's not a judgment against them. It's just like, I'm not vibing. I tried one book club, um, and I went in and nobody spoke to me. They were all focused on what they had been talking about for weeks and months. I didn't even know their names. There was no inclusion. And I thought, okay. And before the time was up, I got up to leave and I said, thank you so much. And they said, oh, well, we've got another hour. And I said, enjoy your time. And that was it. I was like, okay, not for me. We don't have to judge it. We evaluate it. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, because those groups are going to show you the next level of something expansive. Now, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon, 8th house in the general charts, and this deals with your money with others, insurance, tax matters, your investments of time, energy, and finance, attorneys, and which is also the 9th house, but it depends, estate planning. So here's what's interesting. I know a Capricorn rising who just inherited, that's part of estate planning. And this is kind of fascinating because this Aquarius rising sign has a particular viewpoint of money, like got to work 6 times harder to get 3 times less. You know, like the worker who's like, I don't deserve it deep down. So this Aquarius rising sign recently was given property, and they were like, what do I do with that? Oh my gosh, what is it worth? And then, they were told, what was the story? They were told how much the property was worth. They could keep the property or they could cash it in, and they cashed it in. And suddenly they have this chunk of change and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. And so they got advice from financial advisors, their tax person, and some family members. And they said, here's what you can do. Parse it out. Keep 10K for yourself. Live on that for 1 year while you are working toward other things that give you joy. And then, you've got that other stuff in the bank. You're not going to touch it for 30 years. And in 30 to 40 years, you could be a millionaire. Oh my gosh, they had no idea. So Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon, how you approach, number one, the idea of money. Money's an energy like anything else. It's not greedy to want it. It's not pious or to give it away. It's like, it's an energy. Everything's an energy. So right now, the way this world works, the reality is if you have cash, you can purchase something. And if that thing that you purchase feels like it's valuable for you, then that's an even exchange. If you feel like you got cheated, you start to put energy on money or the people who have money or the people who don't have money. And then there's all this BS that goes with it. So right now, for the next year, while Jupiter is transiting your 8th house, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon, and of course, in your chart, it could be something a little different if you have a different rising sign. So also go by the rising sign that I've talked about today. That you make peace with worth and value and feeling secure. So if let's say you have a pension or you have a will, get a living trust. A will is the government stepping into your business. A living trust is, I put my money in the living trust. So this way, my family or whoever I deem my stuff, the beneficiaries go to, it's between me and them, and the government's not involved. So think about that. If, let's say, you want a promotion, you have a job and you want a promotion, and you're thinking, I work and work and work, and they gave me, $20 as a promotion. That sucks. Well, then, okay, if you don't like it, then you can have a conversation from the heart with the solution in mind. What is the solution you have? Bring the solution to the table. And when you go to the higher ups and say, okay, I've been working at this job and I really love working here, but it's getting harder to support myself. Or I feel that my work is equal to a higher raise or promotion. What's possible? How can we work this out? And then they will tell you, I'm sorry, our hands are tied. We can't do anything. Then it's your job to say, okay, to yourself, I'm going to stay or I'm going to go. You have to know what you value. Just like I said to Leo, because you and Leo are opposites. So you'll have very similar experiences, believe it or not. So it's how you bank your money. Putting your money into a bank where you get 0.03% interest doesn't help your money grow. If you adopt this idea that I can do anything I like that's healthy to make cash, and how I invest it might be with, let me see what that Vanguard is doing. Vanguard or Charles Schwab, what's the minimum amount I can put in, like this Aquarius rising that we heard of, who inherited land and then swapped it for cash. They're going to go with Vanguard, and they're talking to their tax person about it. And what's the minimum amount I can put in? How about a Roth IRA? Because whatever maximum is $7,000, but minimum, I don't know what the minimum is, but it's there and it can accrue. What can I do with that Vanguard account? You let it grow. You leave it and let it grow. If you're living month to month, then, I remember Suze Orman saying this 30 years ago. You get a can or a bucket and you stick it on top of the refrigerator or someplace in the house, easy access. And every change in your pocket, which is going to change soon because we're getting rid of the penny. And I'm predicting that within 5 years, the nickel and dime are going to be a thing of the past. So, but whatever change you have in your pocket right now, pennies, dimes, nickels, throw it in the bucket. At the end of the month, you will have enough to buy gas or, whatever. So you'll start investing in yourself in different ways by thinking about money in different ways. And read up on financial awareness, being an entrepreneur, working for yourself. Aquarius, sun, rising, and moon. The 8th house is about shared energy. Now, it can be a spousal energy and their income. It can be a beneficiary, you're in the will, so you get something. Jupiter transiting the 8th house means within the next 12 months, you will be given something. What are you going to do with that? An opportunity, promotion, extra cash, a tax refund. Are you going to blow it on something like a new iPhone? That sounded like a judgment, didn't it? Are you judging what you buy, what you sell, what you own? Are you judging the haves and the have-nots? Because that's the first place you want to go if you don't have what you want. Okay? Did you hear that? That where our attention now is focused in America on, the billionaires and the poor people. And so legislature, they're fighting amongst themselves. Personally, I project that our needs will be met and that the people who champion us, who believe in fairness and justice, are going to do their job. And the other people, whatever. I'm not focused on the other people. I'm focused on the thing that I know is going to support. So Aquarius, sun, rising, and moon, what supports your connection to a source? Not that you have to, sacrifice or give stuff up. It's not so much about that than it is about running to the front of the line or entitlement or deserve. It's like people screaming, I deserve. Well, we all deserve. So let's get out of the I'm a victim mode and put it into I'm an abundant. Jupiter and Cancer through the 8th house. I'm abundant. Oh, I know the gifts are coming. Surprises and gifts and, tax whatever. When Jupiter transited my 8th house many, many years ago, I got a letter in my PO box regarding my business because I had made many financial investments in training and a business venture that didn't pay off. And so I was in debt and I was paying it off as much as I could every month, paying it off. And I got this letter in the mail suddenly that I was given grace and the debt, the $30,000 debt was cleared because I wasn't focused on the debt. I was focused on, oh, I love giving readings. And then I take a little bit, I tithe to the poor, less fortunate. I give 10% of anything I make to a donation or, buying food for the food bank, whatever. And that gives me joy. And, and then, I make what I make and then I take a little bit and I pay off that debt because I feel like I'm a responsible person. And then this letter came in and I was like, is this a joke? And I showed it to my husband and he was like, this is not a joke. You've just been cleared. And I was like, wow, my needs are met. So I want you to start believing, Aquarius, sun, rising, moon, that it's more than just what's in front of you. You are connected. 8th house is a spiritual house, death and rebirth, and you don't have to leave this body to die. Change your mind, change your heart, open, listen, learn. You are worth it because what? You matter because your matter is divine, and you're worth it because of who you are. So how do you, practically speaking, want to invest your time, energy, and money, and with whom? All right. Pisces, 9th house. This is all about contracts and publishing. With Jupiter transiting here in Cancer, this feels like you're ready to teach something, come out into the world, market something, traveled someplace that has great significance for you and how you can then perpetuate your talents. It can deal with business contracts, the law, legalities, or any kind of contract that represents you truthfully and how you can expand. So what is the transit that happens every 29 years? 27 to 29 years, that's Saturn. So Jupiter for Pisces, this next year, every month through June 29th, 2026, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, I want you to think about, where am I expanding? How do I want to, what's my platform? What contracts do I need to resolve? How do I want to create a contract? And that contract it can be a vow to yourself. And please, get away from the idea that you came here with contracts and vows. You came here fresh, clean slate. You're like, I came here to get some stuff done. I want to get it done. And if you don't get it done, there's nothing wrong with that. You haven't broken a vow or a contract. You might let go of stuff for people that don't belong. But let's focus on publishing. Digital publishing. Is it book publishing? Is it having a website and promoting yourself, marketing your talents, your resources? Is it a place where people can commune and buy your whatever you're selling? Are you going digital? Are you working with the law to create contracts, or are you looking at what are the legalities of getting, buying a business name or having an EIN number? How does that work? Pisces in the 9th house as well. It's really moving into the teaching, learning mode of spirituality and moving beyond the mundane beliefs that karma is out to get you. No such thing. Karma is the action on the dharma, the path, karma, the action on the path. You make it positive or negative. It's not like a global, oh yeah, well, you got hit by a car. Well, that's karma. Oh, how does that serve someone? How does that serve someone? So Pisces energy is also a water sign like Cancer energy, but very different in expression. And the Pisces energy on the downside can be very cynical, very victim oriented, or so spacey that the building's on fire and it's like, and they're admiring the architecture, it's like, oh, that's so pretty. It's like, okay, we need to go. Okay, the upside of Pisces is practical, thoughtful, creative, music, art, literature, the arcane arts, the oracle readings, the spirituality of things. And now it's about looking at, because your guide, Pisces, is now in Aries. So it's about momentum. How do I wish to proceed with that dream? Oh, I wish I were. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take the steps and make it happen now. You've been talking about it. Now let's make it happen. And it doesn't have to be all out, like win an Academy Award. It's, oh, I want to start a business. I want to increase sales. I would like to, whatever it is, whatever it is. What are the small steps that you can take toward? But first, you must have the mindset that says, I'm expansive. I'm a celestial, eternal, sentient being. I'm a biological creature. I have something to say. I have something to share. And leave it at that. Not like dipping down into, but who's going to want to buy it? No. But they can't afford it. No. I have something to share, and there's an audience for me. And I'm so excited because they're coming. And maybe you're just graduating college or high school, or maybe you just ended one career and you're beginning another one. Maybe you just retired and thought, oh, I'm not done. I want to do something fun. I want to learn photography. Pisces rising, sun, rising, and moon is the energy of taking the vision and making it magical in the world. So I know, okay, both my parents were Pisces. Both of them. One was the hard nose, that was my mother, and the other one was like, okay, let's learn about health. Let's learn about homeopathy. Let's read the Medicus. Let's paint and draw and write. Let's listen to opera. All right, that's that kind of music. You don't have to like it, but let's appreciate it. That was my dad. My dad was also a musician. He played the guitar. He was an actor. He did commercials. He was in a few plays. And, he was also someone who cared about pets. So it was like all this emotional, creative energy here. And then the other parent was, did you wash the dishes? We have to take out the garbage. What time is it? All right, put your shoes on. We're going. So there was like order, sometimes militant. And so the Pisces energy with Jupiter transiting in Cancer, the ninth house general charts, this is sun, rising, and moon energy for, it's time to make it practical, make it real so that you can have self-realization. And I love that for you. I love that for you because, I want to sing, ain't no stopping us now. Okay, Aries, sun, rising, and moon, 10th house, career, Neptune, and Saturn in Aries right now with Jupiter transiting. You have I'm not going to sing it, but I want to sing it, a whole new world. There's a whole new world for you right now. Career or publicity, or even if you're retired, you're not retired. You will never retire, Aries energy. There's always something that catches your attention and you say, yeah, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to clean it up and get them all into shape. It's order in the court, even if you're just playing tennis. And the fun that you're going to have right now in taking, 10th house traditionally means the masculine parent and career and life direction in astrology. And so with Jupiter transiting there, you're going to travel more. You're going to learn more, absorb more. And even if you don't start a new career, your life direction is taking on an expansive scope and it's huge. And so that can mean you want to know more so that you can turn around and head the team, whoever that team is, whoever's coming your way. Can be, my father-in-law, he's a Libran. and opposite of Aries. I don't know his rising sign though, because we don't know what time he was born. But anyway, every morning he gets together with all the old guys and they talk about the war. He's 93. Which war? You know. And they talk about what they used to do, and they have like their little coffee clatch. Well, that reminds me of this energy because now the groups that you are going to be working with, this is also feels like 11th house energy, but the groups that you're going to be working with or the people that you're directed at, orchestrating Aries, sun, rising, and moon feels like you're not done. It's I have a client who's an Aries and she's reached the retirement phase. And so within the next year, that's it. She's done. She's had a long career and she's done. And I go, well, you're not done, right? She's like, no, I don't want to be done. And I said, well, you know where you're headed, right? And she's very excited because she knows where she's headed even before she gets there. Aries, Libra rising. Interesting. So Aries, sun, rising, and moon, what I want you to think about with the 10th house is how do I move in a direction that makes me feel young again? That helps me to feel like I am contributing something to the world. I can be a mentor. I can be an elder. I can be, team leader. And if you're just starting out, just getting out of high school or college, or you're deciding, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur. I met an entrepreneur. My husband and I are both entrepreneurs, and we went to a marketing event and we met a young man who has an 18-year-old. And they said, we put you through a really prestigious high school. Now it's up to you what you want to do with that information. And the kid said, well, I'm watching both my parents. They didn't go to college. And I could go to any college, because like Yale and Harvard and all the big ones picked her. But she said, what am I going to do? Sit down and learn more stuff? I want to do what you're doing. I want to make stuff. I want to sell stuff. I want to turn around and tell people my age that they can be financially secure by the time they're 25. That's what she said. She's 18. Made her dad real proud. So it doesn't matter what age you are, Aries, sun, rising, or moon. What does matter is taking the incentive that you have and the momentum and finding out talk to the people who've been there, done that. Because especially with Jupiter expansion, publishing, learning, teaching, mentors, right? You may need the mentor in the business entrepreneurial world. Saturn in Aries, the mentor at its best. So I would say Aries, sun, rising, and moon, if you're not the mentor, find them. Bring them to you. Write a little list. And on that list, you say, I now attract the mentor who is an established, professional in this industry or this field. And look at it every day. And then imagine what it feels like to meet that person who wants to help you. And then suddenly you bump into someone and you chitty chat. And next thing you know, you're at a meeting. Or they're saying, okay, here's 3 things you can do right now to get started. And you're like, let me get out my recorder, my phone. And so it's very exciting and it's dynamic, but also remember to pace yourself, Aries, sun, rising, and moon, because you might, at the beginning of learning anything, we tend to find a guru for ourselves and we say, oh, but they did that. They've been there, done that. And then, but it's the first impression you've had of that industry or that talent or that issue or that possibility. And you go, oh, but they're like the leader in the field. And then you stand back and say, well, let me talk to somebody who does it differently. You want a broader horizon. You don't just want like one narrow way to go, because then that will fix you into there's only one way to go. Jupiter can expand, but it's also very determined to get there. The part of us that is determined to get there in a way that says, I read the book. I met the person. This is it. Well, are you sure? Maybe not. There could be 6 other ways to get there. So what's the route you want to take? Which is the one that feels the truest? Because, you might love pets and say, well, I'm retired now and I want to I want to expand in the field of, I don't know, helping the homeless shelter, the dog shelter, or helping people in areas that have had floods or whatever. Like, go help the animals. Like, what's happening to the pets? And you might meet someone who does that, and you go, "Oh, you're my idol." But then you find out that the way they do it, it doesn't vibe with you. And then suddenly you're disheartened and you're like, "Hey, that didn't work." Well, it's not just one way. Because with all this cardinal energy and, the cardinal energy, Saturn, cardinal, Aries, cardinal, Cancer, cardinal, you might narrow the focus instead of broadening the field. Jupiter is here to help you broaden the field and know that there's more than one way to get to any destination. So keep that in mind. Aries, sun, rising, and moon. Taurus, 11th house, new people. Who are these new people? They're going to help your dreams come true. Who do you want to work with? How do you want to be with them? What's the consensus amongst the people in the group? And again, you need to vibe with these people, because Jupiter, again, publishing, education, travel, spirituality, kindness. In Cancer, writing, women, children's issues, nurturing, cooking, finances, food. You might take a cooking class and go, "Oh my gosh, I never knew I had a talent or a penchant for, making keto desserts. Maybe I could teach that." This would be so fun, So it's like, I knew somebody who once made cupcakes. They had a cupcake store. And I met at this marketing event that I went to, I met a woman who, she has a candy store online. It got so big, it's now in 2 locations, like brick and mortar. She's a Libran. And she's like, "I never expected it to get that big." And it did, because she just loves doing it, and she finds all these ways to market it. And not only that, someone said, "Well, can you come to our town and have it, like, so we can come? We don't want to just go online. We want to, like, hang out at the place." So she went to North or South Carolina and she rented a place, and now she has a candy store. And she never thought. And I said to her, "Do you have keto candy? Because I don't eat sugar." She's like, "I don't." I saw the light bulb go off on the top of her head. So Taurus, sun, rising, and moon. You might be prompted to create something with a new group of people, and it gives you such a profound experience of joy and expansion that you're like, "I can't wait to get started." Or you've done something and you put it out into the world and people say, "Where have you been?" Maybe you're an artist and you go to a Comic-Con like our kid did, who's a Taurus, and they were accepted into Seattle Comic-Con, and they went and took their artwork. If you're familiar with the show Severance, our kid, Aaliyah, who's 26 years old, made a piece of art that was fan art for Helly of the show Severance. And while Aaliyah is at their table at the Comic-Con, a young woman shows up dressed like Helly and says, "I want that." And Aaliyah was like, "Okay, here you go." It was a print that they made. And then somebody else comes by and they're talking with a friend, and they're talking and talking. And Aaliyah says, "Hi, can I help you? We just saw Helly in a print. Do you have any more?" "Oh, yes, I got one left." "Okay, we want to buy this for our friend. And he's the guy who created Severance." So now the man, and I'm escaping, his name escapes me. Oh my gosh. I knew it. I know it. Greg something. No, anyway, and I'm sorry, but I got so excited in telling the story. He now owns a print that my kid made, the man who created the TV show Severance. When Aaliyah discovered that, they were flabbergasted, and they weren't thinking, "Oh, the guy's going to call me and want me to do more art." Aaliyah was thinking, "I'm so honored. Oh my gosh." Because they suddenly saw their worth. So Taurus, sun, rising, and moon, and they saw it through a group of people. So it can happen any way. It can happen at the automotive place when you're getting your tires fixed or something. Anywhere you go, Taurus, sun, rising, and moon right now, be you. Not boastful. You're not a boastful person, but it's like, oh, that's a really cool shirt. Like mine says, my other shirt is made of mithril because I am a Lord of the Rings a geek. And when I wear this in public and somebody gets that, I know I'm on the same team. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that somebody recognizes that I love Lord of the Rings. Go team, go. So what I would say, especially because Jupiter is all about publishing, read authors you love, listen to podcasts, ask, discover, find out how you could become on a radio show or a podcast if you've got a business that warrants that. Really connect with groups of people that are speaking your language, that have your vibe, and then open up a little bit and let them get to know you. Let them get to know the sensitive parts of you, the parts that don't always share in public. Because this Jupiter in Cancer through your 11th house experience, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon, is going to introduce you to people who could help your dreams come true. Drop the mic. Okay, last but never least, Gemini in the 12th house. Wow, this was like, how long have I been here? Thanks for sticking with me, folks. Okay, last one, Jupiter in the 12th house. This is all about you expanding on self-care. What serves you? And if that behavior, that food, that medication, that attitude does not serve you, and you find yourself gaining weight or gaining pressure to change, or gaining something that you don't want that deals with a group of, not a group of people, but a populace. Like, oh, I thought, I worked at the health store and I thought these were my people, and they're not, because I don't vibe with them anymore. Or I had this idea that I would do this thing and I went and I set forth to do this thing and everything fell apart. I don't get it. So Jupiter through the 12th house for you is showing you where you're not listening to your feelings. It's that simple. I could go on and explain it, and I will, but that's what it means. And that it's time to nurture yourself and really give you what you need, not what they should be giving you because you're a certain age or demographic or, political affiliation or, have a certain amount of money coming in every year. This is not about that for you. This is about, when do you expand on victim voice? When do you expand on self-care? Gemini, Sun, Rising, and Moon, we've all been through trauma, all of us. And right now, you are letting that trauma go. How? By not talking about it anymore. Now we're going to refocus on what serves us. What serves you and the Gemini population? What serves you? Let's not get stuck in the negative of, and she did, and they did, and this happened, and that happened, and now look what happened. Now it's like, whoa. Everything that happens in your world, Gemini, Sun, Rising, Moon, is coming from you. You're not a victim. And sometimes we create crappy stuff. Sometimes we do things. It's like our right hand is doing something the left hand knows nothing about. And then suddenly somebody slaps our hand and we go, ow, why'd you do that? We just have to own it. And there's no blame or judgment. There's evaluation. So take that moment that you need to get calm, clear, centered, rejuvenated, replenished. What part of your body is hurting right now? What part of your mind has had it and is exhausted right now? What part of you is saying, I can't do this anymore right now? Because that's when you've hit the brick wall, emotional brick wall. Now, to flip side it, we create little bridges. We don't just stop being angry or feeling depressed and turn around and go, I'm so happy. We don't do that. What we do is create small bridges. And these little bridges are the moment you're feeling anything other than neutral to positive. Neutral to positive is where you want to be. Anything other than that is restrictive. It's limiting. It's self-sabotaging. And that place is what you need to become aware of the moment it happens. Because the moment it happens, you'll start to purge. It's their fault. They're to blame. I can't believe those people. I'm doing my best. I'm being a nice person and they just crapped all over me. Okay. That's the victim's voice trying to take hold of your psyche. So this, I would say, is probably not the easiest, but once you get used to tuning yourself to your frequency of my head is thinking one thing, my heart is doing something else. My heart is feeling something that my head is ignoring. That's the split part. Get in touch with that part. And then if you need to do counseling, yes, get clear on the issue, but we're not going to stay in counseling because if the counselor is worth their weight, they will give you exercises to do to move beyond that. And if they don't, find another counselor. We're not here to talk about our problems because then, then what? That's all we do. I knew a guy who was a Gemini and for 10 years, he talked about the same issue, his anger, with his therapist. And I said, okay, well, do you get angry? And he said, but I have a lot of anger. I go, but do you get angry? He said, no. And the way I dealt with my anger was self-harm. And I said, okay, but all you're talking about is getting angry and being angry. So what's the opposite of that? What gives you joy? Let's focus on that. Why not? So you see, Gemini energy can be very fixed on it's this way. And who's involved in that way, who's to blame, or who's making them feel worse, or whose fault it is. And we don't want to go there because you've already been there and it doesn't work, right? And my heart is with you. My heart is with you, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. So if you're undergoing something that's exhausting, that I know a Gemini moon who and Gemini moons don't sleep as it is. But it's like they're exhausted on top of that because it's like one more thing I got to deal with. It's like, okay, if it's not life threatening, give yourself a break. Seriously. I mean, yeah, love who you are. You're pure conscious love, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. Think about the times that things were easy or something came to you and it was so unexpected and you kind of brushed it off. You're like, oh, I love those earrings, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. Oh, these old things. Yeah, whatever. I got them a long time ago. And the story that goes with it, but not the feeling of, let me just take that in. Let me just receive that love. So I'm giving you love, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. I'm giving you love with here's my labradorite crystal. I'm giving you rainbow love. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there we go. Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. That's you. You're always changing colors. I'm giving you some rainbow love. You're not right. You're not wrong. You're you. Be you. Love you. Here's another one. Angel light. Can you see the rainbows in that? Okay. Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. You're worth it. You're so worth it. Let's everybody send all the Gemini, sun, rising, and moons out there a whole lot of love. And then just relax your body. With Jupiter moving through 12th house in Cancer, you can nurture yourself now. You have permission. You have my permission. You have your higher self's permission always. Your soul, your spirit is telling you, love who you are. Repeat after me. I love that I am love. But then they didn't love. I love that I am love. If only I love that I am love. How does love sound? What does love do? How does love be? Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. I wish I had incense lit right now. I'm waving sage right now all over. Just, there's a gal on Instagram. I forget her name, but I follow her and she just does Reiki. So let's do some energy healing on you right now. Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. I'm sending you so much love. Take it in. You deserve it. You love it. It feels good. It's who you are. And then when you start to create those tiny little bridges to okay, neutral, like I like the color purple, or neutral, like these shoes are really comfortable, neutral to positive. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for all my experiences because now I can consciously create my next moment. Consciously create my next moment. Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. No matter how much the complaining wants to start or the judgment or the self deprecation, whatever. I love that I am love. A lot of deep breaths. You want to oxygenate your blood. You want to give your body, the biology, what it needs because the expansion follows. And then once you create these little bridges, suddenly people give you stuff. Jupiter in the 12th house in Cancer. You get presents just for being you and loving that you are love. All right, folks. Well, this was fun. Please give me time to put this into, I'm losing my mind, my words now. Timestamps in YouTube. Okay, folks? And I'll be back next week. I think we're going to talk. What are we going to talk about next week? I don't know. I'm thinking Uranus moving into. No, that's too soon. We'll see. I'll send out something. If you're on my newsletter, you'll get an email and Facebook. I'll post it there, what I'll be talking about. But come back. Remember to share, like, subscribe. Thank you. As always, I wish you peace.